I'm just gonna get straight to it. Jonathan Majors as Kang was phenomenally well acted. He was extremely intimidating and terrifying, also very subtle. If the expression "looks could kill" was a person, it'd be him. But as a stepping off point for the Multiverse saga, I don't know, man. Jonathan Majors aside, Kang was an extremely vague villain. By the end of this movie, I get he wants to destroy the timelines of the multiverse, but why? I came out of this movie having to infer my own idea of the things he meant, and then I go talking about it with my friends, and then they had their own completely different ideas. So that just shows that there was no clear understanding for what his true underlining goals are. Now, I've never been the biggest Kang fan. I always thought he was an interesting character, but let me tell you, I would avoid this dude like the plague, because he is way too complicated in the comics, being a future relative to Reed Richards, and then there will be times where there are multiple versions of himself in one timeline, but they're all in different points in history. It just gets confusing. So when they announced that he was gonna be the new big bad of this saga, I was like, nah. And Quantumania kind of proved that to me, because a bunch of people I know who regularly watch all or most of Marvel's content had no fucking clue what was going on. And me and another friend of mine that do read comics and have a basic enough understanding of who Kang is were also confused at times. It really comes down to the fact that Kang is not the most commercial friendly character. Thanos wanted to collect stones, these stones possess the power of the universe, and then he wanted to wipe half of all life. Very easy to explain, set up, and execute. And with the multiverse as a whole, I've also not really been the biggest fan. I'm not a full-blown hater or anything, but in all honesty, the multiverse is the big reason to why the comic book industry has been failing for some time. There are so many timelines, and sometimes comics will have 3 different series of the same character running at the exact same time. It just gets so damn confusing that people gave up reading them, and new people don't start because you go walking into a comic book store and you see that there are 9 different Batman comics all running at the exact same time, and half of them take place in their own little bubble timeline. Also, when comics do Elseworld or what if type stories that are fun and clearly it's its own separate thing, but then become successful, and then they try to make a whole universe out of it, making it confusing for new readers to know where to start. And now in correlation to Quantumania, I kind of felt the same way. After the movie ended, if the variant of Kang from this movie is truly dead, then that was a horrible decision. At first I was like, yeah right, he's dead. The boy gotta make his dynasty. But then the first post-credits scene got me double thinking, and then the second. So my point is, if we're not following one main Kang, this is going to be a damned nightmare. I get having multiples of him, but if they're just going to have a different Kang variant be the individual villain of each MCU project and then kill him off, that is going to make it extremely hard for the audience to A, fear him if he is constantly getting defeated, and B, we won't be able to grow an attachment for the character because they are all in essence different people. Also, I think this version of Kang has so much left to discover, so if he's just dead now and we don't find out anything else about him, that would be a real big shame. But anyways, I don't really like making negative-ish videos, but this has just been in my head for way too long now, and I needed to vomit it out because fuck.